Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Gamer Chat Podcast. I am your host and player one, Mr. Davy Boy, and my player two that joins me as always, Joe. Joe, how you doing, buddy?
Good, thanks, man. Good to see. Good to be back. Good to talk to you. I'm looking forward to getting into. There's a lot of topics,
Oh yeah,
and I can't wait to chat about them.
yeah. There's a good bit this week. I thought there wouldn't be that much, but I've been bookmarking some information on X and seeing some other stuff, and you've been also sending information. I'm just like, damn, this week is kind of building up a lot.
I thought it was going to be quieter, man. And then when you said to me, it was like yesterday or something, when we were like just sort of like making sure we had all our information shared. You were like lots of topics. I was like, is there? And then like this when we were like going and sharing the topics, I was like, oh my god, yeah, loads has happened. Loads of topics. I mean, we're getting into that season now, aren't we? So yeah,
We yeah,
exciting.
we are getting into that season, and I'm like, what, we are currently in April, and like this is like the preseason for gamers. It's like this is like the Halloween time. We're about to go into the Christmas for us, which would be the summer games show, like all that type of things. So what used to be E3 would now become the Summer Games Fest. Am I going to book a day off work? Absolutely, to react to it and everything like that. Because it's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite years of the week or year. Sorry, and the other one would be Game Awards. So,
Mm.
what?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Like, you excited to watch the Game Awards and stuff like that?
The Game Awards, no, it's a lot of staying up. Don't get me wrong, I used to. I mean, you and me, I'm pretty sure we've done a Game Awards stream together,
Mm-hmm.
um, back in the old G Hub days. But I don't think I stay up for the Game Awards. And the problem is with these showcases now, man, is that it actually means a lot of work for me
Yeah.
because like I'm just it's not like there's obviously not just like the covering of them and stuff like that, and there's lots to come out, and that is a lot of work. But like I also then have to document all these games and then reach out to the publishers and be like, yo, can I distribute your game, please? Like it's a lot of work because so much gets announced. So yeah. Anyway, it's one of those. It's I do really enjoy it, but now it's not as relaxing as it used to be. Because I used to be like, oh yeah, and just taking it all in and like getting hyped about it, about all the games and stuff like that. And now I have to get hyped about it, and then I have to like
My job.
do yeah, but my job, yeah. Anyway, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I kind of to go back to what you actually said. I agree with your classifications there.
Yeah, no, it's my favorite time of the year. Like it always has been. And for me, I feel like this year we might like we're expected to see some interesting games. Like there's games that we've known about for a while that should finally get some release dates, and
Mm.
then there's going to be new games that always excites us, and that might be like 4 or 5 years down the road. But however, we'll get to that when we get to that because we'll probably do a reaction thing together. What's that? June, July?
Yeah, I think it's like June 8th or something like that, around those.
Yeah, so we'll react to that together. We'll manage to do something, you know.
Yeah. Oh, 100%, man. Yeah, I'm all over doing that. Um, I mean, they're generally at pretty nice hours for us, aren't they? Like they're
Usually,
late afternoon time, so
yeah,
that works well for both of us, to be fair. So yeah.
yeah, no, but other than that, like, what have you been playing any games, anything like that? Like, it's been a week. I
Ah,
haven't asked you what you've been playing or anything all week because been flat out
I've
at
not
work
played
and
much
stuff.
games
So,
at all. I've played a tiny bit of Everwind. I'm actually going to play some just right after recording this. I might have dinner first. Besides the point, though. But also, just me and the missus have just started on Split Fiction.
yes, yes, yes.
But we are so early doors yet. But I'm enjoying it so far. I'm properly early into it. So I think we played like half an hour or something. So
Oh yeah, no, it's
um,
still early.
yeah, really early, man. Like, but it seems promising. I mean, we played the It Takes Two together and stuff.
Yeah,
Um, and we really enjoyed that. So we thought this would be a good game for us. So to be fair, I think I bought it for Rhiannon, but obviously for both of us for Christmas. So
Yeah.
and we just haven't got around to it. Been busy. How about you? What you been playing?
The same old, same old. Just been playing a lot of Crimson Desert. There was a point there where I kind of didn't want to play it anymore because I was soft talked out of one of the side quests for the camp where I had to like craft a bow. Then like I looked it up
Mm.
and apparently the quest giver actually gives you a book to read to craft the bow. But I don't
Ah.
remember getting this, and then I must have dropped it or something at some
Oh
point.
no.
So I had to like look up is there any other locations in the map to do it, and there was like way out of my way, so I had to go look for that, buy it, and then I could continue that. And then obviously the game is just absolutely phenomenal when it comes to the sense of exploration and discovery,
Mm.
and it's just yeah, it's a game I've put 40. I think it's like 45 to 60 hours. I don't know the exact amount, but it's in that ballpark right now. I'm still on chapter 6 or 7 or something. I think it's 7. I'm on chapter 7, and been
Lots more
playing.
gaming to be done then.
Oh yeah, way more. Like I've also been playing Marathon. It's got its updates, so it's got some new patches, new nerfs to characters. As we were about to hit into the mid-season event that's going to be announced soon for them in the roadmap. Anyway, it looks like that. And a game that I've played about maybe an hour or two of because I've been really getting into the vibe a bit again. Is I've been playing Shadow of Mordor. Uh,
Hey, is
uh,
this based on 2 seconds, mate?
yeah,
Sorry. Yeah, is this based on rumors that we spoke about in not last episode, maybe the episode before?
that was last episode.
Of a new Lord of the Rings type game?
Uh, yes and no, because I've been itching to play through them anyway.
Yeah.
But like also on Thursday, my partner and I, she has never watched the Lord of the Rings movies, and she thinks they are boring, but she's never watched them. So I'm gonna try my best to prove her wrong. So we are watching The Fellowship come Thursday. So I'm just getting myself into the mood of being back in Middle Earth.
Mm.
So I'll play through that, and then probably play through the Shadow War. But I really hope we get some sort of possibility to even play. Is it the War of the North or something? I can't remember. There was like a PS3 game that there was like a Lord of the Rings game. I think it was like the War of the North. Let me just.
That
Lord
does ring a
of...
bell. Yeah, that rings a bell. I think you're right. It is War in the North or something like that.
Yeah, it is. And apparently, on G2A, the game cost 120 euro. What the fuck? Sorry, but that's a lot. Yeah, it is War of the North. I remember playing this and I enjoyed it a lot. I hope we like PlayStation manages to get some sort of thing going where we can play that through the backwards catalog because that's a game I'd like to play. But I've been also chipping away at Jack 3 on while playing the PS Portal, as well as playing some Pokemon Green, Leaf Green. But so I've been playing bits and pieces, not like a lot, because been busy at work and stuff. But yeah, no, I'm happy with the amount of games I've been playing. I'm not sure if I told you this. I'm planning on making a purchase soon of a new TV, an OLED TV,
Oh yeah.
and I
A good investment.
yeah,
Definitely.
exactly, especially for the PS5 Pro. I feel like I'm not getting the most out of my PS5 Pro because I don't think my TV is good enough. And
Yeah.
I've had like this is a cheap TV that was like 200 quid. That like, I know it's not cheap exactly 200 quid, but you know what I mean in the television standards of definition of good. You need to spend anywhere between 700 to a grand on a really good TV if you want to get a lot of benefits from it. So I'm planning on purchasing an OLED TV in the upcoming week. I want to start like, so I have my PlayStation in here. The one in here will be mainly for multiplayer games such as Marathon, Night Rain, or like maybe ESO, things like that. And when I'm in the living room, I will be playing all my single player games on the big TV, like trying to be really immersed. Like one thing, I'm not sure if we even talked about it. Like I don't even think I have it in the news section at all. Is there was a new Cyberpunk PSSR2 update where like they've like added like brand new quality mode to the game where like ray tracing everything, and it's like at like 40 or 50 frames for the PS5 Pro. And I really wanted to get into that. So once I finish Crimson Desert, I kind of want to go back to Cyberpunk because I've never really finished it. I've only ever played through like the first mission, or like the first proper mission in the game. I didn't, and other than that, I've kind of explored, so I've never actually done much. But I'm really excited to get back into gaming. Like I want to get gaming a lot more. Like,
Yeah.
I want to spend like I want to obviously split up my time with certain things, and I want to game like add another at least hour and a half of gaming to my daily schedule instead of just sitting down watching TV or YouTube. I just want to try and do things like that. But I'm blabbering away here, but yeah, that's me with the gaming parts. Like I tried to play some more Castlevania, but I put it down. I was like, I'm gonna wait.
Fair play. Fair play. Yeah.
But I know that we always talk about football in this part, and one of our teams have played.
Yeah. When do you guys play?
We play Monday.
Monday Night Football. Okay. Yeah, we played. We won. Come on Liverpool, like type thing. I'm. I do think it. In some ways, it's maybe a slight. There's a slight negative that it might keep the manager in a bit, like just delay the inevitable with the manager. However, I'd rather us win every single day of the week. And anyone who doesn't think like that, I just don't know how you can consider yourself a real fan. I think the real news is basically the North London pairing, isn't it? Like that's the real news.
Yeah, absolutely. Has anyone seen Arsenal as of late? No one. I don't think Arsenal have seen themselves either because they have managed to go back to back losses. That's three losses.
Lunch,
yeah,
they've got their lunch and their dinner.
Yeah, 3 losses in a row. And Man City currently playing Chelsea 0-0 at the moment. But if Man City win that, then they go against Arsenal, and then they have the other game in hand, so they could basically bring it back to level before very soon, which is insane to think. That
I know, yeah. I thought the title was done. I mean, I would love it if they bottled it. But do you know what I mean? City and Chelsea are playing each other. I know Chelsea have been poor of late, but City have still got to beat Chelsea today, even and that's not going to be easy.
It's not, no. But then obviously Tottenham Hotspur losing to Sunderland today is quite remarkable for the bottom of the half of the league. They're currently sitting in the relegation zone, 2 points off the drop, or about in the drop. So basically, will it happen?
It might well do. And to be honest with you, any Arsenal fans, because I know you're a sensitive lot, like any jip you get if you bottle it, just Spurs are going to go down. So just take some solace in that.
Yeah. Obviously, Leeds are still well in that relegation battle. We're 3 points above the drop. We play against Manchester United, But yeah, no, they're scum.
I hope you beat them. I hope you beat them. I cannot stand them. Well, I
Yeah,
suppose
no,
they're mutual enemies for us. Like,
yeah, but it's just the fact that we're missing so many players after the FA Cup match. We lost like six of our players to injury. Don't know when they're back, so I'll be happy with a draw. If I'm being completely honest with you, I'll be over the moon with a draw.
you know what? I think you guys look like you might draw your way to survival here. Like,
It seems that way, yeah.
and it would be a good. To be fair, what do you think safety at the moment in the
As in
Premier League?
point wise,
Yeah,
39 to 40 points, roughly
you
around
think
that. Yeah,
you
that's
think
what.
30? You think where Palace are, that's safety at the moment.
Yeah,
So you think that 38 is if you have 38 points, you're likely to get relegated. I suppose 37. Yeah.
with
You
seven
know what?
games left. Well, six games now technically after this week, but
After
yeah,
this week, yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, I think 36, maybe I think 37 points will see safety. I think.
yeah. I mean, it's I really love it, but I hate it at the same time because my team's involved. So I'm just like, stop, please, just stop.
I know. Yeah,
But
it's been a really really weird season this year. Lots of lots of people who would, you know, in years gone by, you'd be like, ah, yeah, we're going to be fine. With the amount of points you've got and the amount of games that are left, you'd be like, yeah, it's fine.
yeah, but
Bear in mind that sometimes people go down on like 28, 30, 31, 32 type thing. Like,
I mean, I think West Ham hold a record for like getting 41 points and still getting relegated.
yeah,
So like
yeah,
like I feel like that's another one of those seasons like inbound.
hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well, no, I'd love, you love to see it. It means a competitive league, to be fair, but
It
um,
does.
which is good for the league, I suppose, but it does make it more stressful as a fan.
Yeah, like we just need to stop leaking in goals. And speaking of leaking, which leads us into our first
That's a
news
nice
top,
segue. Good segue.
our topics here. We're going to talk about Nate the Hate and how he has been known for leaking a lot of information as an insider. And I'm not sure if you're aware, if you saw or anything like that. Nintendo allegedly are basically kind of sending out misinformation to try and catch out some of the leakers to see where they're getting their information from, which is kind of scary. So this comes from the global box office release yesterday. Nintendo is reportedly circulating false information internally as a deliberate strategy to identify leakers. This may affect some news we heard in the past days, including the Luigi Mansion movie and a new Luigi Mansion game, the new classic style Star Fox game on Switch 2. Don't you fucking dare, Nintendo. I want that game now after watching the movie. Uh,
That would be a really that one actually wouldn't surprise me if it was BS. To be honest with you.
Yeah, and then the new Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake. That is true. I do know that is true.
Mm.
And then the next 3D Mario delayed until 2027. See, I don't even think that's a delay. I don't even think there will be a 3D Mario in 2027 because the team that made Donkey Kong Bonanza or the team that made Mario Odyssey, and I don't see another team kind of coming in to like do anything like that. But with that type of information, like Nintendo have had like so much Pokemon stuff leaked. There's
Mm.
actually a trailer going around at the moment of like a possible second trailer of Pokemon Winds and Waves. But then like it was community noted to say that this was a fan made AI generated creation by
Mm.
YouTuber Biesta. Only the official trailer so far has been until February 2026. See, it's crazy because it looks so real.
Mm. AI is getting quite good now.
Yeah.
Um, it
Like
is.
like I'll actually send you the link and we won't obviously show it for copyright purposes or anything like that, but like if you get a chance, look at that link and tell me that that doesn't look real to you.
Let's have a quick look.
Because it is actually insane like how much that game like that trailer looks real because it uses actual Pokemon from the other games too. So you've got like Absol and things like that in it. So obviously, it would be kind of crazy if we found out in the November, because that's kind of when Nintendo like talk about more Pokemon stuff. If this type of stuff came out then, it would be insane. But that's just speculation there. But Nintendo trying to put a stop to all these leaks. But
Now that does look real, but you have to think it's easier artwork for them to
ask
for
generate.
AI to create to generate. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Because
but
all the assets, like most of them exist already.
absolutely.
Maybe it's fake. Maybe it's not. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if all of the stuff we heard was real. These leaks, and Nintendo is saying this as a way of trying to keep people guessing. So people are like, "What's real? What's fake?" That also wouldn't surprise me too. So so all the stuff we've seen so far is real. It is real, but they are implementing that strategy now, moving forward, to try and catch people out. I don't know, like it's clever, from them, because it gives everything a degree of, oh, is it true? Isn't it true? Like, so it adds a layer of hype back to when they actually do announce it, or announce things, and also, um, it puts it puts off leakers, because they're like, are they? So yeah. So the people will be more careful about what they choose to disclose, thinking, shit, I could be in real trouble. So yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And with all that leaks pouring out, Nate the H just loves adding more holes to the leaks. And he has also leaked information that there will be a PlayStation State of Play as of the 16th. So that would be a Thursday. That would usually be at our time, either at 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. And I would see it be announced tomorrow or Tuesday, that announcement. So with that being said, there is also other information which kind of makes me disappointed that this is our jobs, because it leaks, like certain leaks kind of lead into others. So for instance, it's going to be a third party State of Play mainly. They could also like throw in a first party game at some point, but games that'll probably be revealed is Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake. That'll be showing up there. So that's possibly, it's called Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced is basically what it's called. And I suppose we'll just like push all these other information in. So apparently there's a new Metro game about to be announced next week. And what else is next week? The PlayStation State of Play.
The thing is, I've also seen something somewhere that
was cancelled. Metro 4 was cancelled. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
So Metro 4 was cancelled, but Metro 2039 is basically what it's going to be called. So if that is to show up, we know that it's real. But have you played the Metro series? Are you familiar with it?
I have. Yeah. I remember when they all got added to Game Pass.
Yeah.
I played. They're hard. They're hard games. But it's because I remember seeing the trailer for Metro Exodus. I don't know if this is, I think, back in the Xbox One X days, and I remember thinking, oh my god, that's so good. Obviously, it was running on a high-end PC, obviously, when they showed it.
But, absolutely, yeah. I remember, yeah.
Yeah, but in that game, it's incredible. And very, very, very difficult. But very good. And yeah, I'd be very happy if there was another Metro game coming out, to be fair.
Yeah, no, me too. Like if it does get announced, and if I start getting a bit of a tinkle, I might start playing through all of them again.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, no, a new Metro next week should be interesting, and probably sticking with more PlayStation news. We have information on Marathon's development budget is allegedly over 2 million, says news report. So this is from Robert DeFelice in Insider Gaming. and it states that Bungie's extraction shooter has been available for us for just over a month and can be played on PlayStation, Series X and S, and PC via Steam. Information regarding the game's budget came from us by reports of Paul Tassi. The Forbes article states that the majority of the game's player base resides on Steam, with reports indicating that 70% of the players are on PC. Reportedly, the average playtime on Steam was 28 hours, within 22% of the players spending more than 50 hours, and about 7% of players have racked up more than 100 hours. Shout out to us. Currently, the game has a concurrent player base of 20,000, down from its all-time peak of 88.3 thousand. The game itself, when it first released, was 140,000. During server time, this was during the server time Slam event that was free. Additionally, the game is 77th in the daily active Steam user. Like, you know, the Steam list, it's like ranked at 77 there of daily players using it. And then on other platforms such as Xbox, it is ranked 106th most played game, which is quite appalling. And it has no information on what the PlayStation one is. But yeah, the game has been budgeted at over 200 million. What are your thoughts on that?
It's a lot, but you know, this is AAA budgets, and especially multiplayer online games. You know, that I've heard from many developers, like if you want to add multiplayer or online to it, you know, it's at least double the budget, but potentially triple or quadruple type thing. So yeah, no, I'm not surprised. What, you know, the market as well at the moment, like costs are so high and stuff. Like, plus, I mean, where they based? They're in North America, aren't they? So it's going to be more expensive and things like that just to pay the developers and stuff. Like, yeah, it's not surprising. So that's how I feel about it. It's just the nature of AAA. I do think that a lot of AAA studios are quite conflated and stuff, and even now when we've seen all this unfortunate redundancies and things like that, and cuts across the industry, I still think a lot of AAA studios have this problem. I do also think there's a lot of people in these studios. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I won't go into more detail on that, but yeah, that's how I feel about it. What about you? What are you thinking?
So as we're both aware, I'm a massive Bungie fan, and so for me, it's kind of hard to see when I see that the game has reportedly sold roughly almost 2 million copies, and the game was retailed at €40, and so that's what, roughly putting the game at 80 million sales or 80 million in revenue.
How many sales has it made? Sorry,
roughly 2 million. So that would bring it to around that. So it's still 120 million under budget, which is bad considering that how much they actually paid for Bungie.
How many did they sell on PlayStation?
As a subtotal, it would be as a subtotal, it would be 2 million and across all platforms. So the actual PlayStation numbers haven't been released yet.
Okay.
So with that being said, that's not good.
No, it's definitely not good.
Especially for how strict.
Don't forget, 200. You know, whatever they sell on PlayStation is almost 100%.
Yeah, it is 100%. There's 30 on other platforms.
Whatever they sell digitally on PlayStation is 100% profit.
Yeah, but regardless of that, it's still a terrible margin for the game. It hasn't even broken even. And this is a company, Bungie, that we're speaking of, a publisher, should I say, or not publisher, sorry, a developer who is already on hot water with its player count on Destiny. Destiny's player count is less than 10k or even less currently, and no one's playing it because the game has been updated. And well, I mean, there was the Guardian Games, but there wasn't really a substantial amount there. You play for 2 or 3 days and you're off it again. And we're expected to hear in June the next update for Destiny. That's when it's supposed to release. So I don't know how they're going to balance this and Marathon with such a small team. They're going to have to drop one or the other. And from what Bungie said is they're planning on having Marathon around for a long time. So do they just put Destiny on ice for a while and then
I don't. Hang on a moment, Dave. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not sure if the game has sold 2 million units.
Mhm.
And it's €40. Is you saying $40 or 40 euros?
It's 40 across the board on each. Like it'd be 40.
Yeah, yeah. But you've got to think that they've made more than. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, no, sorry, they
Because
can't do it.
they would have
Only
only
about 60. They would have pulled home an average, probably about 60 million.
between 60 million.
Yeah.
So like that alone is not great, you
No,
know.
but it's what's its player base at the moment. I can't believe that you. Yeah, I don't know.
The player base is like under 20K
Is it on Steam or
on
just across all platforms?
On Steam. Like but as far as I'm aware, the PlayStation people aren't playing a lot of it either because it's such a niche like genre as it is, and it's not really hand holding. It kind of just throws you into the deep end at the start, and it's really no it really doesn't tell you much about the game. It kind of just, here, do this, do that, now play the game. You know, it's kind of hard when that's what's happening in it. But I worry for Bungie. But like, so when I say this to you, what is bigger, Bungie, the name Bungie, or the brand Destiny? Which one is bigger to you? Like, if you were to take off your Halo rose into glasses, also.
Yeah, and but to be honest with you, let's not forget that they will be an extremely different studio from the one that created Halo. Most of these people will have left.
No, they're
Like
not. They're not actually, because I remember there was like this big post.
really.
Yeah, there was this big post when someone put it out, and then actually someone that worked on the game like started showing, like started saying the names of the people that worked on Halo 2 and 3. I remember that was like a big thing before the game came out. So that was a funny thing. So there, a lot of the team is originally there. Just a lot of the main like leaders, so like the main studio head people aren't there, but the actual core development team is still there.
Okay.
So
okay. I mean, I do worry if it's that far under budget. I do worry.
yeah,
I do. It's still early doors yet, but yeah, to be not even halfway towards achieving your
even
return on it,
yeah,
break even is
it's rough.
really worrying.
Yeah,
really worrying.
and
But
especially like, I'm sorry for cutting you off again, but like speaking about how Sony are, like they've just axed Bluepoint because they were making a live service God of War game, and
they've got to stop chasing this. Got this live service thing. I know what it's because they don't have like because they don't have like Microsoft have got loads. Then obviously Valve have got. Do you know what I mean? Others have got multiple, and they don't really have it, and they know that once they're turning over, they're cash cows, and they just are chasing one. The problem for them is, I think, that they are chasing a very saturated market.
absolutely. But the thing, like, as you know yourself, though, like when. So let's say, for instance, they made a lot of money off of Helldivers, and that was only a second party publishing thing when that came out. They're trying to replicate that, but from a first party standpoint, so they can get most of the revenue. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
so
Yeah, didn't they buy the Helldivers studio though?
no, they tried to buy them. They tried to buy Arrowhead, but Arrowhead said no, thank you. We're going to make our game and be third party for the next one, because the game has sold over like 30 million copies, which is like, it was just like an anomaly when that came out because nobody expected to sell that much.
Yeah.
But like, I pray for them I love Halo, so and Destiny. I've spent thousands of hours on Destinies in the last 10 years.
Mm.
But the problem is with Destiny, it had a narrative. You closed the narrative, and obviously you left a gap open to continue. But a lot of your player base was like, "Yeah, I'm satisfied with this ending. I don't need to play it anymore." And that's what happened. Like you saw the drop off. Like it went from like 600 to 700,000 players playing Final Shape to nowadays where the maximum amount of players that played it was like less than 100,000 or 100,000. Like
Mm.
that's a big drop off for concurrent players like during that time
Yeah,
frame.
yeah, that's big. I will say, yeah, I think that people should worry for
Bungie.
Bungie. I mean, they spent. Don't forget though, they spent what is it, 5 or 6 billion on them or something.
Exactly. So they haven't
Um,
got they still haven't gotten anything back.
but yeah, but because it's such a huge amount of money, do they? Do you know what I mean that would be a very significant loss to take? I feel like they'd give it a bit longer, but yeah, we should be worried for Bungie. Uh,
I mean, they have
I
managed.
do, I do think that I do. AAA needs to take note, and that building good building games, you don't have to go for the $200 million budget or whatever you go for 150, 300, whatever. You don't have to go for that. Like some of the best games recently have been like indies on small budgets, and I, they're they're making a mistake. Sony are in chasing this um like golden rabbit or whatever it is, like
The Golden
in
Goose.
the elusive like live service game. um they're yeah, it's a fool's game. Like I know it's going to cost them a lot of money, and they're better off. Yeah, they're better. I don't know. I'd rather see the talent and the studio, work on different projects. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure Bungie had a degree of you can make what you want type thing, but I do think that they've PlayStation. It's done more damage to PlayStation in chasing it than it has in
Absolutely, I 100%
yeah,
agree with
in
you.
terms of money made from successes. So I think yeah, anyway, it is what it is.
Yeah, no, it's just that like we can like you can name on like but like in your hands like we are 2 years away from the new generations, so basically PS6, and I can name on my hand like the amount of single player exclusives that are on PlayStation right now, and it's underwhelming.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
one like off the top of my head, the first game that's I can think that's exclusive is just Demon Souls.
yeah, which actually makes the whole Microsoft strategy that they've employed since the launch of the Xbox Series line even that much more of an own goal, with exclusivity and everything. Because if they'd have stuck to that and made, for example, Activision games all exclusive and things like that, like they'd have been sitting very they'd have been much more compelling moving into next gen consoles and towards. Remember PS3? For ages
Mm-hmm.
it lagged behind, and then PlayStation started producing all these bangers towards the end of it, and then they had stuff like just coming. Do you know what I mean? Into the hopper was full by the time PS4 released.
Exactly. So we're going to
Um,
like
with good studios making good shit. So
yeah.
yeah.
So like Naughty Dog carried them basically that time. And speaking of Naughty Dog, an
Mm.
insider has claimed that Naughty Dog's second game is an Uncharted game. So he was the guy who announced like this leak. It was also the same guy who first revealed that who like this guy actually revealed first before Nate the Hate did basically on Reddit. Like
Yeah.
you know, like the insider leak thing on Reddit. I don't use Reddit, so I don't really know much. But he said that he was the first person to release that state of play and the existence of a new Metro game were announced. Like basically, he kind of said that they were happening, and basically, I'm not sure if you saw, there was like one guy who was the lead director on one of the or one of the lead art directors, sorry, on one of the Uncharted games, like posted a picture like back a few months ago, and it said like hashtag research, and like it only got picked up like a few days ago, and people are like, oh wait, this kind of looks like it's an Uncharted game. So, and I'm not going to spoil the ending of Uncharted 4, but it leads an opening to a new Uncharted game, and I think
Do you think it will be Nathan Drake
no, it's not.
led? No.
No,
Do you
it's
think
not.
it's going to be one of the other characters like Eleanor Fisher or something?
No, it is a character that's in the series, but like it's at the end of the series that you see who this character is. Because and like if you've seen any of the old, like well, old, I say old, but any of the PlayStation marketing, there is this character in the trailers.
Interesting.
So like yeah, like so like this person actually shows up in the trailers, and if you've played the games, you know exactly who it is. So like it'll happen. Like I sent it to you there who it is.
Yeah, I've just seen. Yeah.
Like and I like will tell you off screen what I think will actually happen. Or if it's not that, it could be a prequel. So like Nathan Drake's like ancestor type of thing of like how his whole family kind of get into the whole like uncharting like exploration things. But like I excited for it. Like when I heard this, I was like, you know what? I kind of feel like I kind of feel like wanting to boot up the Uncharted games to try and platinum them, because I tried before, but for some reason Uncharted 1 is just ridiculously hard on brutality mode, and I'm like, wow, things got hands. So like with that being done, and if it is Naughty Dog's games, like I can see the next 3 Naughty Dog games being the Intergalactic Heretic Prophet being the next game, which will release in 2027. Then you've got Uncharted 5 or whatever it's called, because as you know now, game developers don't kind of name their games numbers now, just for the sake of
no.
Requiem being a perfect example of that. But Uncharted 5 being 2030, maybe 2030. I can also see it being a PS6 exclusive. I mean, to be honest, that'd be stupid if it's an exclusive, but you know. And
from a revenue point of view, or from a driving units point of view, because if from a driving units point of view,
even from a driving units point of view, it's expected how much the consoles are expected allegedly cost over like close to 1,000. People are going to buy that just for that game, unless it's bundled in. If I'm being completely honest with you,
I have a theory, and I think that these consoles might not be as expensive. I think they'll be more expensive than they are now, but I think they might not be as expensive as we are expecting.
I think it'll be an €800 console or £800, like a £799 console plus. Because we do know that there's going to be a handheld version, and I feel like the handheld version could be like 400, because it is basically a PS5 and a handheld one, or like bundle them up together for like €1,000. You get the handheld plus the console.
Yeah.
I will like, if you were to tell them like, yeah, sure, I'll happily give me both of them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, me too. Yeah.
And just to finish off there, like and after the Uncharted, like Neil Druckmann will finish the Last of Us Part 3 and that will be the concluding of the Last of Us series, and that will be like 2034, I think.
So you think that there's only going to be a couple of years gaps between each one of these games that are taking like 6 or 7 years to develop now?
Yes, there will be, because.
So you think they're multi-threading on a massive scale, which wouldn't surprise me, by the way. I'm just wondering what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I feel like what they're going to do nowadays is that because of how they want to use AI and the technology of the PS6, that is going to be very AI driven towards its graphics. Like they don't have to spend that much detail on
So you think Nvidia DLSS 5 type thing on
I mean,
console?
not that extent now, but like the PSSR version that they have, you
Hmm.
know, like that's what I think. But that's just from that team. But as we know, like Insomniac before the big whole breach of things that they had was releasing
The
like again
carrier.
like they
They were carrying PlayStation for a while. Let's be fair with
yeah, like
Insomniac. They were.
Uncharted, the like not Uncharted, sorry, Ratchet and Clank. Then you had the Marvel games. Then you had another Ratchet and
Yeah.
Clank, or like it was just
Yeah.
consistently there. But also just to like put into that, like with PlayStation, like they are becoming such a different branded thing now because as we're aware, they I don't know where I'm going to go with this exactly, but like for instance, so, like Sony themselves are more of an entertainment package kind of now. Like so, for instance, there's a new Metal Gear Solid movie in the works at Sony Columbia Pictures. So, are you a fan of the Metal Gear Solid uh, series?
Sorry, say again. Metal Gear.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
So,
That would be sick. Honestly, that's my type of movie.
yeah, so but it is being directed by Zach Levosky and Adam Steen, who made the Final Destination Bloodline movies. So quite a different take from like that. So it can also blow up in their face. But Sony themselves haven't really missed with their movies. Like the Uncharted movie was good. The Gran Turismo was fantastic. You know, like
Yes, indeed.
what they need to do is they need to make an animated Astrobot or bring back Ratchet and Clank or a Jack and Daxter. I'm for all of them, or Sly Cooper.
Mm.
Like bring all these type of things back. But yeah, we're getting a Metal Gear Solid movie produced at Sony. Like so, Sony will be in charge of this. So like, it's going to be difficult to see this movie being good, but we can only hope it's good. We don't even know if Oscar Isaac is the main role anymore, which would be sick because he was allegedly supposed to be the main guy. He was supposed to be Snake in the movie back when the script was made a long time ago,
Hmm.
but it never really got greenlit. But now it looks like it's actually on its way out. So that movie, expect that movie by 2028, I'd say.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
Yep, that would be cool. Well, it'd be interesting to see at the very least.
but I am
But
worried. Like I am worried for it, but I think that's all a PlayStation movie. Let's just move on to something that's really weird that I saw. That
go
is
on.
absolutely just something. So there is a Disney extraction shooter reportedly in development at Epic Games, according to Bloomberg. It will feature Disney characters, battle enemies, and extracting similarly to Ark Raiders. I haven't really played Ark Raiders, okay, but
Mm.
like a Disney extraction shooter.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, all I can think of is that they're using the Disney characters um. So uh, so this like Fortnite uses licensed IP, and we're
Hmm.
gonna have a bit of a reskin of that, but with as an extraction shooter instead of a battle royale.
Yeah, I'm just
That's what I get. That's what I get from that. I have no idea, but um,
yeah.
that's my take. Do you agree? Like,
I hmm. For me, I'm just like, I how are we gonna do things like this when like this like the Disney characters like you're gonna have Mickey Mouse go out there shooting people with Donald Duck? You know, like is that good for your brand to have this shooting stuff?
hmm.
Like how much is that?
Yeah, don't forget Disney own obviously they own all of Marvel and Star Wars and stuff like that as well. So there's a degree of they've got a lot of different IP they can throw in there. I don't think they'll.
That is true.
It maybe yeah, but also I mean they could Smash Bros it type thing.
True, but like it's an extraction shooter, so like I'm just like, what
Yeah,
would
but
even
you
be
never know.
the
They might use like silly guns and stuff, or like
maybe?
do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it
There's
could be very cartoony. I guess
yeah,
they
yeah.
could make it like they could like I obviously a game that the Horizon game I can't talk about it too much, but like that for instance is very cartoonized in the
Mm,
art style, so that is possible with
mm.
that. Uh, but I just thought I'd mention that. Like, it's weird that we're getting a new extraction shooter, but it's a Disney
I'm
one.
intrigued. Do you know what I had sort of? I had what I had also had imagined when I was thinking. I was thinking like like Fortnite meets Dreamlight Valley,
Wow.
like
Yeah,
type
no,
thing.
I wouldn't
Um,
even know how to comprehend how that would work.
oh well, I can see a world and where they could make one, and obviously Epic and the Fortnite team, I can certainly see why they might be a good fit, considering all the licensed IP they would have done and how many times Disney characters I think might have appeared in there. Um, and so I could see that it's a shoe in really in terms of comparing. It's just how popular will this game be?
Hmm.
Um, because you've got to think who's the audience, who's it for, and it's. Do you know what I mean? It sounds like, and when you think Disney, I guess you think generally probably kids or young adults.
Yeah.
Um, but you never know. Let's have a look. Let's see. It might come out and it might be like, oh my god. Um, but yeah, It doesn't really sound like my type of game at the moment, but you never know. It could come out and it'd be like Disney's version. I say Disney's version. It'd be like more Battlefronty. Um,
Maybe, maybe,
with
yeah.
but yeah. Anyway, um,
And
yeah,
speaking of games look that are exciting, let's talk about some Xbox news because I think the rest of the show is going to be all indicated towards Xbox news. So let's just start off with Forza Horizon 6. It has gotten its early previews out. There's
yeah,
currently a 6 minute trailer or gameplay, drive gameplay out
yeah,
where they currently you're in a Nissan GTR, you're racing in Japan, you are
mhm,
racing against a bullet train, which I think is
yeah.
cool.
That does sound cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I for one am super excited for this game. Like I think this is my top three most anticipated, well, top five anticipated games because this is going to be a fantastic year for gaming. But they have some stuff going through the mountains and the snow where you're like just driving in the snow, which is like insane. Then they also show off some stuff about like car meets, and then they have you doing some drifting down the Japanese mountains, which is also pretty sick. Like the cherry
Mhm.
blossoms in the game are quite cinematic to look at. You're like, I'm going to play a lot of this game. Like just watching them drift past like the cherry blossoms and they just kind of float past the screen. You're like, oh yeah, that's beautiful. Then you've got some like stunts where there's like one where they're at a like a rocket ship space field and you're just like, what is going on here? And then like they kind of end the gameplay thing with ending up at I think you're racing a military plane. I'm pretty sure, which is just insane. And you like basically it kind of all leads your way to the Horizon Festival, which is going to be how you progress through the game. And some things I will try to remember, I guess, right now is in the game. Have you played a Forza game before? Like a Forza Horizon game before?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
3, 4, 5.
Okay, so you know the way there's like Anna, like your like built in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, you should go and do this. Blah blah blah. Yeah.
Yeah, so there is a lot of improvements to the game when it includes her. So in Forza, she now has this recommendation to, because it kind of has that Ubisoft blah kind of look to it, where just there's so much icons you don't know where to go. She can tell you recommend what the next thing is to do. So that's pretty decent in my opinion.
Yeah.
So there's also a drag race thing that they added. She has this thing where basically I've seen some people talk about it and they said that it's not the best, but they're going to work on it. Is there's an auto drive system where you'll set a destination and like it'll like change the cinematic kind of look to it, so you can just say for popping to the bathroom or getting a drink or something, it'll drive to the destination, or you just want to look at your car. Uh, so it has things like that, and I think those type of minor details can add a lot to the game. So, for instance, I'm someone who, when I see, I'm like, I don't know what to do next. So she will pop up and say, oh, do this. So you go do that. And you're like, okay, cool. So that's just something I think is going to be great. And yeah, I say this is probably going to be one of Xbox's highest rated games this year.
Yeah, agreed. They don't tend to miss. Having said that, I have a spicy take on this.
On Forza, or
Forza, yeah. I'm
okay.
not really looking forward to it. I don't get me wrong. I like the Forza Horizon series. I don't love it.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw some clips of it, and the I don't know why it really got to me when I saw like the paper mache physics on the trees, like
I'm
and I was like, oh, I I suppose as I've got older, I've got more into sim racing
mm-hmm.
rather than like real world or as close to realistic physics as possible.
Yeah.
Um, um, so yeah, I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah, but it's understandable.
I'm of course going to play it, but I'm just not hyped for it,
So you don't
and I
like
don't.
the pepper mache trees?
Well, I just don't really like the physics in it. Don't get me wrong. I know it's an arcade race, and you're arcadey, and you have to take it for what it is. But I've just lost interest in playing those types of games. I think they peaked at Burnout, if I'm honest with you. But
Oh yeah, that's totally
um,
understandable. But like, I can
um,
totally understand that. But when you think of it from a standpoint, they look like that because they're all destructible. Like all the trees are destructible. So like you can like that's kind of the reason why they're like that.
yeah,
So, but I understand, agree with you. But do you know what? Like, as like great thing that you mentioned, Burnout. I feel like this game, because there's so little racing games right now, bar Screamer that came
mm,
out like last month. Like,
yeah,
if they had the balls to do it, they could implement. Like, do you remember the Burnout mode where you'd crash and you'd like build
yeah. You
on
take down.
the not that exactly the well, it could be. Do you know the one where you destroy everything, you crash things on purpose, and you like
Oh
the
yeah,
more
yeah.
the more
Sorry, yeah,
destruction
no,
you
sorry.
did.
I thought, yeah. What's it called? Destruction Derby or something.
Yeah, but like things like
Demolition
that,
Derby.
yeah, things like that are what's missing into like the arcadey type things nowadays. And I'm not sure if that's because I just want that, but that I think Forza Horizon could implement that in a game mode at some point. But yeah, Forza Horizon 6 is releasing May 19th for PC and Xbox only. The PS5 version will release later in the year. This is one of those things where I'm going to buy a month's Game Pass to get it, because
Mm.
I will because I want to properly play it on PlayStation. So I will play it, test it out, enjoy it for a bit, and then obviously just play the shit out of it when it comes out later in the year. But
Yeah.
something that's actually not coming out later in the year and actually coming much sooner than anticipated is the Halo campaign Evolved is allegedly releasing July 28th. What? What? I thought this was going to be like a September October game.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't forget, it's a new game. Sorry, it's a new game. It's only a remake. So I can understand why they might do it in summer because it might be, hopefully, should be priced appropriately as well, and they want to keep everything clear for
Let me
other
just
stuff.
let me just check the PlayStation Store right now, and let me see what if Halo's if it should be up. Let's just check Halo. Let's see if there is a price on it. Yeah, no, there's no price on it. It just says wish list. So, yeah. So, but the rumor is that it is releasing July 28th, but will also have a 5-day early access
Yeah,
releasing on July 23rd. It'll obviously most likely be available on Game Pass on the 28th, but if you want to buy it 5 days earlier, you can buy
I don't
the.
like that, by the way. I really don't like that.
I mean, that's how a lot of Microsoft make a lot of their sales for their games before they come out. You know that yourself. I've been a victim of
100%.
that.
It's a way of because Game Pass cannibalizes sales. It absolutely does. People who say that it doesn't, you are ignoring facts when they slap you in the face very hard. Um, Everyone in the industry says it.
Hmm.
It don't. I'm not saying it can't be good for games, but it does cannibalize sales. And I know, but you know, I just don't. I think if a game releases on a certain date, it releases on a certain date. Don't then be jammy and try and double dip. You know what I mean? They in my opinion, Game Pass is either great, right? It's either
Hmm.
great and we're launching in day one and in there, or you don't. I'd much rather than pivot to the rather than do something shitty like this. I would much rather them do something like release the game um and only sell and only sell it
Yeah.
like and then release it into Game Pass like a year later. I'd much rather that than this just kind of feels underhanded because otherwise why am I subscribing to Game Pass? Like Ultimate, what people subscribe to Ultimate literally for day one games. They do like this pay for early access. No, get in the bin. Sorry, that's my take on that. I don't know if you agree, but I imagine you probably are relatively closely aligned with me, or am I going to be surprised?
Uh, I think that it's stupid, and I think that you're completely correct on all the statements that you've made. The only thing that is like nowadays, which is good for it, is discoverability. Like for smaller games, that is literally the only plus side for the
Yeah, and
subservice.
for new IP to sort of gain the oxygen of discovery, quote unquote.
Yeah, exactly. But I suppose with that Halo news, because I'll like it's not much to talk about with Halo because it's a very old game. 3 new missions coming when the game launches. That's the only new thing about it. Obviously, with no multiplayer, but let's talk about probably one of the bigger news items that I kind of want to get into a bit with you because I feel like it's a great segue when we're talking about Game Pass. According to Jez Gordon, Xbox is reportedly considering removing Call of Duty from day one on Game Pass this year. So the game is going to be Modern Warfare 4. So Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4.
Yeah,
And as we both know, like Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7, well, mainly Black Ops 6 was a major hit. Like, it sold really well. Um, but it was also didn't really move the needle that much when it came to being day one on Xbox, like on Xbox Game Pass. And I'm not sure if you remember when, uh, is it Arsha Sharma? What's her name?
Sharma, the new CEO of
Yeah.
Microsoft Gaming. Yeah,
Remember when she said that she wants to make Game Pass cheaper?
yeah,
I think this is the only way you can do it is by removing Call of Duty. Because if you remove Call of Duty, you can bring
yeah,
down the prices.
yeah. Don't disagree. No, listen, I have a theory of how this could work, and I wonder what you think about this. I'm not
Fire
sure.
away.
Not sure I've mentioned it to you. Okay, so um, statistics are there are a lot of people who pretty much play Call of Duty and FIFA or Madden.
Hmm.
Um, this is just true. Um, Right, if you want those people to subscribe to Game Pass or buy the game, you don't put it in Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Now, you have the campaign maybe that you can put into Ultimate. Um, and then you have the Xbox, you have the Call of Duty online version released into a different tier of Game Pass, which is not included in Ultimate, and it's like Game Pass Online or something, and it has your Fortnites, it has your Call of Duties, and it has those online multiplayer service games in there, and it's its own separate tier, or it's its own separate package, if you like, away from Game Pass, or the mainline sort of Game Pass. Um, that's my theory for it, and then you therefore drop the prices of Game Pass Ultimate.
Hmm.
So you have this as like, and it's $15 a month, but it has loads of online multiplayer games. And to be fair, that's a more sustainable. You have more monthly active users. You increase your Microsoft share price. They're all happy. You get better cash distribution to each game in that service, those games, right? Because let's say there's only going to be about 10 or 15 in there, so therefore, like, you know what I mean, the distribution of cash into it, but you'll have huge numbers of people doing it potentially, because there's that people who only play Call of Duty once a year aren't going to go and pay $30 a month or something to play Call of Duty. The that it was, I don't know who made that call in Microsoft. It's just it clearly commercially didn't make any sense. And you you then keep the core, like your core gamers who would just probably, let's be fair, want to play the campaign, get to play it via Ultimate. And but then because you're selling, because you've got I'm making numbers up, but let's say you've got 30 million people who buy Call of Duty every year for the multiplayer, or let's say people in that tier get the whole Call of Duty type thing. Um, then they get the cheaper version, but they obviously have the multiplayer in there with it. Then yeah, I think you will get you'll have a lot of people subscribe just to that service, or paying the full $70 for the game.
Hmm. See,
That's the best way of doing it, in my opinion.
I understand. I think it can work, but like, well, people
Oh no,
nowadays are
no, don't
all,
get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. That's a if you want to have Call of Duty in Game Pass or as part of the service, that's how you need to do it. But the simplest way would be to just remove it from the service full stop, um,
but
until the next one comes out, type thing.
like, see, I do agree that strategy could work, but from a consumer perspective, I feel like in a way, or that, oh, so we're just adding more tiers now, so now I don't know which tier I have to get. Like, you're making it more confusing for me, so
No,
I
well,
can't get.
okay, yeah, yeah. But that's why what I mean by is, so you actually just brand it as something completely different.
Mm.
You call it like the Xbox Multiplayer Hub or something like that, um, and it's separate from Game Pass, and it basically just gives you access to the. I'm aware that it could be
I have a better
confusing.
name for it, by the way. Just let you
Go
know.
on, go on.
It's Microsoft multiplayer, not
Microsoft
Xbox.
Multiplayer.
Yeah, and it'll be
Yeah.
like it rolls out better because it's not. I know Arsha is
Because
trying
if
to.
you had this tier of game, right? Because here's the thing: you could have Call of Duty in there. If they've done this deal with Fortnite, maybe Fortnite's in there or whatever it is.
Hmm.
Then you could have World of Warcraft in there.
Oh yeah,
Do you
yeah.
see what I mean?
I
Like
oh
you,
yeah, that now you're speaking a better way there. Now you're making a lot more
exactly.
sense.
Yeah, yeah. You have World of Warcraft in there. You have Minecraft Realms in there or something. I'm making that up. Actually, that's a bad idea. But because Minecraft is its own thing. But
Yeah.
do you see what I mean now? You take all of these games and you create its own subscription package for it, because
So
outside of Game Pass.
I get you. So, but see, now you're just like taking away from the Game Pass element where you're just making another subscription service entirely.
it's a very finely tuned one though. It's
Yeah,
specific for. It's not
multiplayer.
a. It's specific for multiplayer, and those multiplayer games that are people only play them. Do you
I
see what I
see.
mean?
I
Like,
do. I
or
do. Yeah, I do. But uh, like that mean. But there's so many like intricate things then, because like then they'll have to change the UI of how the actual game works. So they're going to have to make a separate app application for multiplayer as well as campaign. And
they've already done that with games
oh
with
yeah, they have like
Call of
Halo.
Duty.
No, in Call of Duty,
Was it
they
Halo? Maybe they did it for.
a
Okay, yeah,
Halo Infinite has multiplayer and campaign. They're both separate ones. But like,
yeah,
but in Call of Duty, you can uninstall the campaign. You know, things like that. You
yeah.
can uninstall. Like, so you are correct in a way. Just but
But that's just the thing though. So when you get it from that tier, it's a specific license that only gives you access to the multiplayer. So it would load up the same game, but if you wanted, but it would have campaign grayed out or something.
yeah.
And say you have to either buy this or subscribe to Game Pass or blah 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 to get access.
See, if that in all well, like that would possibly work, but there's one thing that I'm going to kind of throw
Go
a
on.
spanner in the works there. For games like Call of Duty, okay, in order to get certain weapon skins in the game, you need to do certain things in multiplayer, campaign, and whatever their third mode is.
Yeah.
So if you want to get the best like earnable skin in the game, you're going to have to make sure you get the highest tier anyway that has both campaign and multiplayer because you can't get it otherwise.
Yeah, but those people will probably buy the game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I do agree with that, but like I feel
This tier I'm thinking of exists purely because
for the
what they want,
multiplayer from the
what they
multiplayer
want,
standpoint, yeah.
for yeah, well, for the multiplayer standpoint, or and the people who don't buy and play a lot of other games, so it's not worth subscribing to a $30 Xbox Game Pass Ultimate because they don't play other games. So they want to subscribe to something that's $15 a month, and there's a selection of 5 to 10 games in there of the multiplayer that they want, or something like that. Oh well, of the games that they want. Because I'm thinking in this subscription service, you just of fifth, yeah,
No, I can see how it works. I can like even just going through my head now, like you pay €30 for a multiplayer one, and that might seem excessive, but in the multiplayer one, you get enough points to get a season pass in Call of Duty. You get your subscription for WoW, and you get access to the expansions. You
mm-hmm.
get, like you get all of the like main things beneficially. You know what I mean? Like you get things like it's €30, yeah, but you're getting everything in that package as a
Yeah,
multiplayer aspect.
yeah,
I
yeah, indeed.
like it can work. Like that type of thing 100% can work. It's just that I feel like it's just like, and bear in mind, like just so I don't misquote Jez here, he like what he like I'll quote exactly what he said. He says it'll be interesting to see if they take Call of Duty out of Game Pass this year, which is a possibility from what I've heard. I think it'll reveal some of the cracks in the strategy, quote unquote, with Game Pass, possibly.
Yeah.
Which I think I don't know. Like, obviously, we know exactly who was like, oh, everything, all our first party games are going directly into Game Pass. Do we know
And
who?
staying there. Phil
Yeah.
Spencer said it.
Okay. Like,
But
see
obviously
that was, but like,
yeah.
did he say that when it was after the acquisition of Blizzard, Activision
I think
Blizzard?
so, yeah. I think so.
Because that is what's killed them so much. That's why they can be exclusive, basically, is because those games need to sell. They're tremendous. Like that, they should have never bought that company at all. Like that's just my number one stance. That it's a company.
I think they should have bought them, but I just think that I either either Microsoft, either they weren't realistic with their targets,
100 million users, yes, and they haven't reached that yet. So
either they were unrealistic with their targets, and so have had to. But in truth, they should never have adopted the full. We don't know how impactful this whole Activision thing could have been because they've just been fully non-exclusive. They've been multi-plat with it, so yeah, it's
but
sorry, go on.
but that's exactly my point. Once it became a first party studio, and they're like, "Oh, we're making everything third party," like that, you just drag everything else, all the Bethesda games, all of the,
Yeah.
like,
I know it's a stupid. It was a really, I, it was a stupid strategy, especially when it's not being reciprocated. This is why I think they were not realistic with their targets, because I think if they go if things started Microsoft, do you know what I mean? They've come. If they'd have known that it's going to be like, oh yeah, it's going to be 10 years really before we start dominating this space, then I think that this doesn't happen to them, and they get the. Do you know what I mean? Microsoft are not a small company, and this gaming is a blip on the radar really, to investors. I think they get the rope to run with.
mhm.
But but I don't think that I think they were pretty. I don't think they were realistic enough with their targets. And which is why now I think we're in this situation, and maybe everyone like, oh yeah, Asha Sharma's getting the time and stuff. It's like, well, maybe she's gone in there and been like, well, I want to do something, but it's going to take. Do you know what I mean? But it's a long play. I think maybe I don't know.
I mean, but I just fully stand on my stance that it should never have been bought. It has ruined any chance of pushing themselves back to an exclusive console based thing. You see it with PlayStation. PlayStation are only releasing their like
Multiplayer games,
multiplayer games on
did that
PC.
get confirmed, or was that just?
Yeah, no, it's basically
Yeah,
it has been because they've removed certain cross buy features off of certain
yeah, okay,
games when you because on their system it shows like the cross, it doesn't have the cross buy logo anymore on their single player stuff. So you
interesting.
know things like that, which are going to be beneficial for them in the long run when it comes to exclusivities. Because like as we saw, like when they released certain games onto the PC, it barely moved the needle of
Yeah, I
how
mean, to
much.
be fair, they should have, if they really wanted to move the needle on PC, release your games day one, or at least like maybe a couple of months later.
Yeah, but that's
They were too greedy with that strategy. But I still think that obviously it was the right move for them.
yeah, but it also leads into the whole reason why you don't need an Xbox right now. So hey, like,
yeah, because you can buy all the Xbox games on your PlayStation 5,
and
but
like it's vice
also,
versa, like
or yeah, exactly,
on PC.
yeah,
So like I can see it, and they saw it too, I guess, from probably reading in some data. But yeah, no, I hope that the Xbox removes Call of Duty to reduce the pricing, because I didn't play Black Ops 7. I just, yeah, no, like, and the fact that Modern Warfare 4 coming out, no, I just make a brand new one. If they made a brand new one,
yeah.
I'd be more interested, but I'm not, because I'm just
Mm.
like basically Modern Warfare 3 was a DLC of Modern Warfare 2 when you released that. So, like
Yeah,
it hasn't been the best for Call of Duty with them. Plus the amount of AI generated content that they're using now, like it's rough. But
mm.
yeah, I hope it's gone. Do you hope that they remove it just for the sake of the value being cheaper?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do. Yeah, because
yeah.
I subscribe to Game Pass and I haven't even played the new Call of Duty because, frankly, like FIFA and every other single game that's released every year, I just can't be bothered to keep
Right,
playing.
like
But I
exactly.
mean,
Yeah.
buying it, and I don't want it to affect I don't want it to affect the tier of Game Pass that I'm actually interested in subscribing to,
Exactly.
for the games that I want to play. Anyway, but I just what if they do bring it down, I think it's only going to come down like $5. I don't think it'll be much.
I think it'll drop down to 20.
Do you think?
I think
Well,
it'll
we'll
be
see.
20.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right.
I fucking hope so too. Like this news story, I guess I'll move up to now because we're still talking about Game Pass, and I just feel like it's a game that when it does reportedly come out, it will launch on Game Pass, and that is Fable. So according to Jeff Grubb, he's heard that Fable has been pushed internally. So this is exactly a quote from him. I'll say what I've heard. That Fable has been pushed internally. That doesn't mean that it's not coming out this year. Apparently, they're still trying to get it out this year, but they're kind of worried about the launch because depending on where GTA comes out. So I have said this a few times to you. I kind of expect it to be moved out of this year. Like, I don't mind, like, and like, let's just say, for instance, like just these are just some of the games that are releasing this year, okay? That are allegedly releasing this year if we don't have Fable. So we've got GTA 6, Gears of War E-Day, Wolverine, the Combat Evolved campaign, Control Resonant, the Zelda Ocarina of Time, the Call of Duty, which I probably won't play, it'll have to really get me back, as well as the new Star Fox game. And that doesn't include games for us, which are like the Blood of the Dawn Walker, Mouse PI for Hire, all these small games, well, not small, but like smaller games that are like on their way out to us. Like, if Fable is released into the new year, I'm perfectly okay with that because I'm still neck deep.
A delayed game is what it can be at one point good. Release a game broken and
everyone will tell you about
do you
it.
know what I mean? Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Unity.
You can ruin the game by releasing it broken.
Yeah. And there's only been two games. There's only been two games in gaming history, I think, that has been different for, and that is No Man's Sky and Cyberpunk, and they're the two games.
Yes, agreed.
But yeah,
well, yeah. I mean, I was gonna make a point, but it's not a valid point. So
no, but just make it anyway. I'm curious to hear what you were going to say.
Because it's false. Because I was about to say, well, not over those games were that expensive, but actually
they were full price games when they came out.
Yeah, well, and also, they were. Well, I think No Man's Sky might have been like $49.99 or something, or $39.99.
It was 60 because it was.
Was it? Jeez.
Yeah, because
because it was PlayStation exclusive, wasn't it?
Correct. Yeah, I remember playing it day one. Boy, was I disappointed. But yeah, what are your thoughts on it being like pushed out of the year? Does it bother you that much that it's a 2027 game or no?
It bothers me because I wanted to play it, but I mean, no, I'd rather it release in a good state than release broken. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't mind. There's plenty to play already, and if GTA comes out this year, then yeah, then you can understand why I would miss it. But I don't think GTA will release this year.
You don't think it'll release this year?
Maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
And there's actually one thing I completely forgot to talk to you about, which is actually kind of interesting in regarding to GTA. I'll send it to you there that there was a hacker group that are trying to leak the Rockstar information.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
The Shiny Hunters says that Rockstar have until 2 more days to respond, basically, and they're going to start leaking the game out. And like, I've seen 1 or 2 things that pop up that could be real, but I'm just like trying my best to stay away from that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this game is. I think it's releasing this year. I do think it's going to release this year. But the only thing is it going to be leaked to the absolute like max of all this stuff? You know, like I want it to come out. I
Here's the
think it'll come
thing.
out.
I'm not sure the leaks will damage the sales too much, to be honest with you, unless there's like, if it's just stuff about the game and whatnot. It depends what kind of stuff is leaked.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like, what's the thing? There's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah, bad negative publicity is good publicity as well.
Yeah. I mean, and but we'll see. But if personal data is out there, then that's a problem for them. But we'll see. But I can't think that it would be, unless it's personal data of the staff.
Yeah, that like I think they confirmed something that it wasn't anything like that was leaked, but
then I personally, don't get me wrong, I'm gutted for the people who work there, because like this has been building up for so long for them to get to show it off and talk about and release it and stuff, and do it in their own time and do things in their own time. But I just think it's for the game. I don't think it's gonna be too damaging.
yeah, no, I agree. But let's talk about Xbox now and their way of trying to get back into good publicity. Jesus Christ, with their fans. Xbox Achievements is now getting an update. So there's new animations and icons when you unlock certain achievements now. You get to hide your game like achievement list on certain games, and then you're able to highlight your 100% completion rated games. Starting from Insider, like if you're an Xbox Insider, these are things that you can do, and that was as of the 8th. So if you're an Insider, you get to do that now. So finally, they're doing something to achievements. Joe, what do you think about that?
I think it's good. I mean, better late than never, right? Major Nelson's just like, loads of the stuff that he basically has been thinking of since like 2014, which says a lot, really, about their priorities and stuff. But I do think they need to do a lot more here. Don't get me wrong; these are nice, quick wins, and I get it what she's doing. And from a positive PR point of view, she's trying to win some faith of the community and stuff like that, and get some quick PR wins. Very, very clever stuff. But there needs to be a lot more done to achievements. A lot more needs to be done there. To be fair, they need to improve upon the whole platinum things, platinum achievement, and give. I actually was talking to some guy briefly on X about it from Windows Central, or he's like a guest writer there or something. And because I wrote a whole list of things that Xbox could do within the ecosystem. This is going back a couple of years ago. I think I was going to write something about it on Gamer Hub, and of just all the stuff that they can do, and for the achievements to level them up above platinum, above the whole the trophies thing and stuff going on there, and it's a good start, but they really need to do a lot more work. I mean, how do you feel about it? It's like, I'm pleased, but it's like, okay, yeah. For me, it's still kind of like, well, okay, but it's good, nice, but keep it coming, really, because do you know what I mean? You're still a long way off.
So what will I say? I think that it's stupid. Have you seen the animation?
No, I've not. I've seen the screenshot of it.
Yeah, it's not enough. Like, what I want in order for me to be excited for it is for that 100%, I want to get like an emerald type of Xbox logo. You know where like the PlayStation has like the platinum trophy and it has like the PlayStation sacred symbols inside. I want an Xbox equivalent to that. And
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. There's a lot of work that needs to be, but the fact that they're even starting to work on it is, and these obviously
oh yeah, I
think about
agree.
how
I
long.
agree.
Think about how long this. Do you know what I mean? A big achievement system overhaul.
Yeah,
That's time.
that wants me to lead to the next question. How in God's name has it taken this long when it's something that Xbox fans have been asking for the last 8 to 10 years, but Asher comes along and it's done within the first 2 to 3 months?
Um, I have an opinion on it, but I have no idea how true it is. But it's just based on things I've heard and and obviously what's what people have written about as well. I think that there were people in Microsoft who just didn't get that. Um, didn't get the whole achievement thing and the community. Do you know what I mean? That sort of
Yeah.
element of Xbox and the ecosystem, and that is why I think it wasn't addressed. That, and obviously they've had for many years almost bigger fires to fight, um, in terms of their platform quality of games from first party, volume of first party, um, and other such things. But obviously, for many years they've had lots of great studios, and still it's been sort of nothing. So I just think someone within a few people maybe within Xbox didn't care about it. They didn't, because they didn't see the value in it. Maybe.
Hmm.
Uh,
Like, I just feel like you're you're winning a lot of brownie points, but when it comes to the actual main like seller, which would be exclusivity and caring about
mhm.
your actual consumer, like the consumers, like us as
Yeah.
fans.
Your console, your most monetized um, audience, and the people who are achievement hunters will be the very most monetized. So by not addressing that, and you show that you don't, it's not really giving much back to the customer. Um, do you know, they always say, like, if you want to grow your business, you need to look after your main customers first.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because and because it's a word of mouth thing as well. It's like, when when you do something good, um, out of 10 people, one person will tell people about it. It's like, if you do something bad, 9 out of 10 people will tell someone about it, and it's like, yeah, you need to win back. You need to win back the value for these more engaged customers, um,
Well, yeah,
and you will
that's
bring, and you, by sheer osmosis, you will bring back the more casuals.
yeah, absolutely. And like even saying things like that, like I've been seeing now on the internet for the past like 24 hours, something that's been kind of stupid, but it's just mainly Sony Pony PlayStation people complaining and stuff like that. So Gamertag Radio, who have been given merchandise from Xbox with for the Project Helix. They've been given a hat, a hoodie, and some other bits and pieces. So Gamertag Radio have literally been covering Xbox since 2001.
Yeah,
Like these are things that have been, you know, ongoing, for
yeah,
ages. So when you see Xbox rewarding them, they're like, okay, yeah, they appreciate their, like, obviously they're content creators at the end of the day. They're well known, they get free stuff, they're a part of the
is
platform.
this the Project Helix box thing?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah. So Danny Pea and Paris Lilly of Gamertag Radio both received these boxes, and some people were uh, complaining, saying they're shit and stuff like that. But no, they have literally been a part of the Xbox since day one. Like they have been. That has been mainly primarily their focus and their podcast and content creation for a long time. And obviously things have changed. They spiral off. They do other gaming news stuff now, and people are complaining because they got the Project Helix stuff. You know, And I just think,
Well, yeah.
like, come on, like, I can understand that, but like at the same time, they have been there since day one. I mean, if they started doing things for people like the Finding Duke, who's so like Mr. Matty Plays, people like that. I mean,
Mhm.
if you want Xbox, hit up Joe and myself. Also, we'll happily take a Project Helix box. You know, like these are like people that have been fans for such a long time. Like, it's just, can they do it for the not the box, but can they get people back, like, with, I want to be the best way, with like, how, for instance, how much, like, off top of your head, how much do you think that console is going to cost? Just off the top of your head, don't even think about it, just,
The Project Helix.
yeah.
Yeah, about $1,000
Yeah.
USD.
And do you think it's only going to be one SKU?
Um, Very hard to say. I think um I think I think it probably will be one. Oh, you mean one SKU of consoles and not X, what Series X and Series S? I
Exactly,
think
yeah.
I think it'll be just one. I think it'll be. I think if they do the multi SKU approach, it'll be something along the lines of a handheld or a hybrid or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it would be a mistake to do the multi SKU approach, and those handhelds would be like streaming esque boxes as well.
Yeah.
The some game, not all games are playing native, but anyway, yeah.
But like, with all that being said, there was one person at Microsoft who felt like he had to leave.
One of many.
One of many that left. But this guy, Mr. Pete Hines, says he left Bethesda because he didn't want to watch it be damaged and abused. So, this is an article from the PC Gamer. Pete Hines says he left Bethesda because he didn't want it to watch it being damaged and abused. Hines is Bethesda's former vice president of marketing and PR, left Bethesda in 2023, 3 years after it was acquired by Microsoft. Uh, After an awful lot of years, Pete Hines was the face of Bethesda Softworks for games journalists, first as a company marketing and a PR guy, and later the public at large. When Bethesda started holding its own standalone showcase at E3, in terms of public awareness, he was pretty much the number two guy behind Todd Howard. He was at the company for nearly a quarterly century and made enough of an impact that when he left, it was a pretty big deal. A few years down the road from his departure, Hines sat down with an interview with Fireside Chat Gaming, covering a range of topics from his early days at Bethesda. His first credits at the studio, listed on Moby Games, include writing the manuals of Sea Dogs, the PBA Tour Bowling 2001, the IHRA Drag Racing, and some little game, like a little thing, something called Morrowind, like a joke that they're putting in there. That is what he was doing with himself with his free time. He's now has he talks about what he's been doing now that he's like no longer employed. Hines also shared that some of the thoughts of his final months at Bethesda and what prompted him to leave. Something he says he didn't particularly want to do, and while he doesn't speak the name Microsoft, it's not a difficult connection to make. Uh, I just want to, let's see if we can kind of actually quote him himself. I was staying there because this place still needs me, Hines said. Of his decision to leave, I just hit a point of yes, it needs me, and I'm powerless to do what I think needs to be done to run this place properly, to connect these people, to maintain what we worked so hard to create, which is incredibly efficient, well-run video games development and publisher. And when I was unable to do what I thought my job should involve in continuing to have this place be, if not the most efficient publisher in the game industry, it was to it was weighed the fuck. Oh, so it was like way the fuck up there of them being a good place. And when I couldn't protect it, and I know how it was going to be damaged and broken apart from frankly mistreated, abused, whatever word you want to use it, I said I'm not going to go and sit here and watch this happen right in front of me. So basically, he talks about how he was in a position that he, even though he was high up, there was a lot that he couldn't do. So instead of doing anything, he just left because he didn't want to see it crash and burn. I know, Joe, that you said that you had a lot that you wanted to say on this, or you had your a good bit you want to say. Do you want to tell me how you feel about Pete and his comments?
Yeah, I think that I can understand um, why Pete might have felt that way. I know for a fact that um, working at a corporation like Microsoft, and I'm not singling them out here, but like Microsoft, it's a very, very specific type culture. And you need to be, and it's not for everyone. It really isn't. It's kind of like it's a bit of a hive mentality, really, in many ways. And in being a Microsoft studio or being a Microsoft labeled publisher, you are Microsoft and you are at the behest of towing the line to the Microsoft way, no matter if you're um, no matter if you're like independently running yourselves or anything like that. You are always at the behest of the greater Microsoft empire, and I that will certainly be frustrating. In addition to which, for certain people, like I could never operate anymore in a Microsoft type environment. Um, it's extremely corporate, and I you there's not there's a lot of towing the line and staying in your lane you have to do. Um, and it's just not so it's not for everyone, and that way of working really isn't. And I think people should be careful before jumping on him and giving him shit for this. I saw a lot of people doing that, and it's
Mhm.
like people were like saying, "Well, yeah, he never liked the acquisition." And I would say to those people, go and rewatch the round table. He seems in a pretty good space there. It's obviously it's just one of those things. Like think about you going into into a job where you knew people there and it was great and stuff, and then maybe there was a change of management and stuff like that, and it was different, and maybe it's still those people that you liked, but it was different and a different way of working. You just kind of felt like you couldn't do things maybe the way you wanted to or used to, or work well for you personally, and like yeah, you've got to go. It's understandable. I don't think I'm not actually giving Microsoft shit here either. It's just if you just kind of got to, do you know what I mean? Like he can't stop the acquisition happening, and he probably got on well with like Phil and that lot, and Aaron Greenberg and etc. But once you're part of Microsoft or Apple or anyone like that, you've got to be Microsoft or Apple, whoever it is, all the time. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I feel a bit bad for him, um, because maybe he didn't want to. He wouldn't have left Bethesda had he not. But obviously, yeah, it got pretty bad for him. It sucked that he had such a bad time towards the end. But this is the way it is, and I'm sure he was. Do you know what I mean? I think he had a he had a great career at Bethesda and probably was paid extremely well for it. So I don't think, aside from the damage to his mental health, I don't think it's all that many tears for him.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay. What way will I go about this? like we know that he wasn't happy with certain things that happened after the acquisition. Like
Yeah,
we've seen the emails. He
yeah.
he wasn't happy with certain things trying to go exclusive, or certain things going to.
Well, I think what I remember something. What irked him was they were having to go exclusive, and then they were saying about Activision. Oh, we're not. It's fine. We won't be exclusive. We won't be exclusive. I think that irked him, and I understand that.
Yeah,
Um,
because they want, like, every game developer wants their games on other platforms. They do.
mm,
They want everyone to play their games because it's their artwork. They want as much people as they can.
mm,
Like, so that's understandable. For me, I obviously it was the right choice for him. Uh, the fact that you could do what you can. Obviously, we're not gonna say like there wasn't any bad things happening. Like Redfall was terrible. Like
mm-hmm,
that was under his watchman. I can't remember.
mm-hmm.
It possibly
There
the.
were a lot, but don't forget, right? Bethesda hadn't exactly been on a roll before the Microsoft acquisition. I know Deathloop wasn't that. It was a critical success, but I don't think it was much of a commercial one. You had issues with the Wolfenstein games.
Mhm.
Um, the young Wolfenstein Young, what is it?
Youngblood.
Not young. Yeah, that wasn't too good. Like there were issues at Bethesda before the Microsoft um, uh, acquisition. That's not to say that necessarily, but it was a bad. They had bad. What's it called? Company culture. Um, I think he probably thought that he was going to get a much more autonomous. He was going to be able to be more autonomous than he was. Um, and Microsoft were deliberately vague about exclusivity, weren't they, at first, if you remember?
I do.
Um, and yeah, I suspect it goes beyond just. I think that's got to be a small thing in it. To be honest with you, if I had to guess, it's more to do with the Microsoft, uh, mm, the Microsoft micromanaging. Um,
Absolutely, yeah.
uh,
I'd argue they've only released maybe 5 good games in the last like 10 years.
Bethesda,
Yeah,
yeah.
like Doom, Dark
Um,
Ages, Indiana Jones, Starfield, Ghostwire Tokyo. Obviously, that team is no longer with
no
them.
longer Tango, yeah. But
As well as
they had
Hi-Fi
that other
Rush.
one,
Hi-Fi
yeah,
Rush. Like
yeah.
they're the only games that were good.
In the last 10 years. What's the year now? I don't know. I quite liked Fallout 76. I know it was released and not very good,
I mean, yeah, it's
but
good now.
by the time I played it, which was like a couple of years afterwards, like it was very good. Uh, but yeah, I know what you mean. There's more average or to not good games in the last. Well, to be honest with you, since like twenties, like the mid twenties, then um, than not. So yeah.
Yeah, no, but I feel like I'm happy that he left, that he found peace, but like there, I it's kind of a controversial thing.
Go on.
Oh, Bethesda are not the studio they what we think they are.
BGS, Bethesda Game Studios, or Bethesda the publisher.
uh, Both. I just feel like everything is like so messed up currently in their
Hmm.
situation. Like I do
I
not
don't
feel
know
like.
specifically. Sorry, go on. I don't know if I think you are right to a degree about Bethesda Game Studios because a lot of the people who were doing the writing for the games have left. Um, and it was the writing that really made. Obviously, there was a lot of things that made Elder Scrolls brilliant, but it was the writing
Yeah, which has me worried
really,
for the next game too, especially
yeah,
with the
because
amount of generated content that they plan on using. Like, is it like in Skyrim, for instance, you know, the Thieves Guild, like they give you random stuff to do, generated stuff to do, and then it's the
even
same
the
in
thieves,
Fallout
even
4.
even Skyrim, I thought wasn't that good at writing.
I know
Like,
the writing isn't good, but like when you compare like the discoverability, that was fantastic, but the quest itself were meh compared to Oblivion. Like when we saw the resurgence of Oblivion last year, like
Oblivion had a lot going for it, yeah, and Morrowind as well. The writing in those games was second to none, in
and
my opinion. Like
yeah,
they're so good, and yeah, I do think that it's oh, we're going down a bit of a rabbit hole here, but yeah, it's not the same people anymore, and especially with the quality overall of writing in gaming. And I think this is a wider topic that we should maybe even do an individual episode on, like writing and stuff like that. And the writing in games overall at the moment for me is not good. They, I think something is getting lost in writing by developers trying to make games appeal to everyone, rather
hmm
than, I think they should give studios and games their niche, because I think in special, it's like the whole jack of all trades, master of none type thing. It's like and when you are selling anything, you're like, who am I doing this for? And you tailor what you're doing for the audience, for your buyer. And we've moved so far away from that, that I think a lot of writing is diluted and boring, um, and not just for me. I think a lot of other people, with different games and different interests in different types of games, are finding that as well. They're like,
hmm
it's meh, because, do you know what I mean? It's not. It doesn't really appeal to any one person because they're trying to make it appeal to everyone.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think that is I think that's a huge problem in gaming. And you think about books, right? They are written to appeal to people who are interested in that genre. But games, where they're so expensive nowadays, like Destiny, $200 million budget, like
Marathon, just to correct you, but
they
yeah,
have to
yeah.
they have to appeal to so many people to make the return on investment. Like, you don't, yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
no, I 100% agree with you. I just worry, like, well, it's not that I worry. It's like, remember when Todd said that, oh, we are going back to our roots of like the Oblivion, Skyrim thing. It's like, okay, I believe when the game comes out then, but other than then, I don't really believe
I
you right now.
agree. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm so excited for Elder Scrolls 6 information and stuff like that,
Oh, me
and
too.
to see the game. But I am a little bit like, is the writing going to be any good? And unless they get a load of and because writers or content writers or lore writers and things like that, it's few they're a hot commodity, in my opinion, in gaming at the moment. AI is never going to be able to, for a long, it's going to take AI a while before it's able to do that well.
Yeah.
um
They just need to go back to some handcrafted dungeons and just great writing, and then just some like I want maybe 5 to 6 condensed cities with
yeah,
like good like just make 5 to 6 good cities. Don't
with
expand
fleshed
this
out and stuff.
massive thing.
Yeah,
It doesn't need to be huge. Make something that's
I
replayable.
think if it's the size of Skyrim, but with more fleshed out cities and better AI and better quests, I'm good with that. That's great. Like, you know, and that is more than possible and stuff like that. Obviously, you can have more AIs and things like that too, and NPCs that they don't say much and stuff. But yeah, I'd much rather have, like, crafted, really fantastic main quests, basically, um, than trying to do than trying to make a survival game, for example, and adding all these survival mechanics in and stuff. Don't get me wrong, playing the Skyrim in survival mode has been fantastic, but that came many years later from a mod which they brought in and everything like that, and so
Yeah.
you can play it in an anniversary edition. But you know what I mean? Like, let modders do all of that, and then do it like you do a la Skyrim. Like, release just a rich and dense world with yeah. Anyway, we've gone really far down a rabbit hole here. Like,
It's almost as
we're
if we're
talking.
RGB fan or RPG fans that really want a
Oh,
great game, you know.
yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, no,
Um,
like I think. Do we have anything else to say about the Pete Hines news?
I don't think so. I think is that. I think we
That,
through all the topics now.
we are, yeah, we are going on. We are almost 2 hours into this show. Very hefty news week, but as
It was.
I didn't feel the 2 hours because I just love talking games with you, man. Always the same. And if you want to even feel better, Man City won 3-0 against Chelsea. So
Hey, did they really? That's good news. Yeah.
yes, so that's a 6 point gap now with their next game being Arsenal. So something to look
Yeah,
forward to.
it's very, very interesting into the season. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Cool.
But yeah, no,
Yeah,
I think that it is the end of today's show. The next time we speak, we'll possibly have a PlayStation State of Play to talk about. Some hopefully interesting third party games.
yeah,
Hopefully, some more interesting news on Xbox and Nintendo and other gaming news in general. But
yeah,
I hope everyone had a good time listening.
yeah,
Uh, Hopefully, they will give us if they've made it this far into the 2 hour conversation, that they tell us in any of the comments about if we're right about certain things when it comes to Game Pass. Like, should Call of Duty be removed from Game Pass? And yeah, if people want to find you, where can they find you?
Find me at Mopish Lawyer on pretty much every platform. Um, uh, or you can obviously find me here on this lovely podcast, and also you can find me at Three Gaming Pillars, my game distribution company. So yeah.
And that has been another week of successful gaming news. Thank you all for joining us, and we shall see ye in the next video.